Fellas, there were some trades yesterday, one of which got my attention, and David, I know, got your attention for sure. The Chase Young trade to the 49ers as if they didn't need any more help. David, what do you think about the Nick Bosa, Chase Young matchup there?
I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you already have, Nick Bosa on the edge, Clelin Ferrell coming off the edge too, Javon Hargrave in the middle. I mean, they're just getting richer out there, man. I mean, them and the Eagles are definitely top dogs in the NFC for sure.
Now, the biggest question is, can they stop the tush push?
No, definitely not. Only 8% of the time, that play's working 92% of the time or whatever the Kelseys say about that. But yeah,
Wasn't the
no.
NFL trying to stop that?
Yeah, but I mean, that's Bush if they do. If you want my opinion, that's Bush.
It's literally unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, and they're running reverses and fakes and all kind of stuff out of it too. So I mean, there's countless things what they can do with it too. It's not like it just has to be that every time they line up in that formation.
Who was that did a jet sweep or something out of it?
It was against the Commanders, wasn't it?
Or no, they just handed it to DeAndre Swift. He went around the edge, helped me out in my fantasy.
Well, speaking of the Commanders, what's their plan going forward? Because they traded him, and then they traded what's his name, Sweat, the other defensive end. I think he went to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably just cleaning house, getting some money or moved around.
Well, boys, I know the. Go ahead, Will. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say probably try to make Sam Howell's contract way 10 times more than what it is because they're going to buy into him thinking he's their guy for like the next 10 years, and he's not.
Are y'all in on him or not?
He's been balling though.
Yeah, I mean he's been balling, but when he's the best guy on the field, I mean, I could go out there and do that.
Here's why I'm sold on him. I'm sorry. Here's why I'm not sold on him. I've got Terry McLaurin on my fantasy team, and the dude is they just don't ever throw. They don't throw it to him enough. If he throw him the ball more, I'd be good, but he don't do it enough. So,
I saw a thing where the Steelers. I was watching Sports Center. The Steelers game. What was it? Who were they playing Sunday? Where George Pickens, his only catch of the game was that touchdown. How are you going to only target George Pickens one time?
They just throw it up.
No, he's getting more targets. They just can't get him the ball.
I mean, they are still 5-2, 6-2 or something, but.
I don't know how Matt Canada's still calling plays there.
Did y'all see where that guy on Pat McAfee dressed up as Satan and he was supposed to be Matt Canada?
Yeah, and he had like the Steelers big hat on or whatever.
Yeah, Pat McAfee was like, "Yeah, that's a great look. I'm sure he feels great being portrayed as Satan on ESPN." But I know there's something brewing down in Houston. The D'Amico Ryans, I know he'd probably love to still be in San Francisco now that they got Chase Young, but CJ Stroud and them boys down there, they're looking pretty good.
Oh yeah, he's got them boys playing some football down there. I mean, what's their record? Anybody know? I don't off the top of my head.
I don't know. That division's weak.
Besides winless Carolina, so
yeah. I mean, consider what they were like. If you just watch them play, though, I mean, they're just playing at least better.
Oh, for sure. But here's the question. They were talking about it during the game that the Texans were trying to trade up to get the number 1 pick to draft Bryce Young. Now, here's the question. Would they be better with Bryce Young?
I think they got their guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
don't think so.
The thing with Bryce, I'll never deny that he's good. I will never deny that. Worth 1 overall pick. But like his guys, his receivers, they're like in their mid-30s. At the youngest, like he has no help to throw the ball.
No O-line help for sure.
No,
absolutely not.
Yeah, they're gonna have to have a big offseason.
Well, kind of switching sports. I know Wemby was. I don't think there's any besides LeBron. I don't think there's been anybody else that's been hyped up as much. But I will say, watching their games and stuff, dude, he's raw. Like the wingspan, he gets in passing lanes and he's like a Kevin Durant on steroids.
Yeah, I think it was preseason that block he had. I think it was Wiggins when they played them. Dude, that's not human almost.
Did you see the one last night? Or maybe whatever. Dude tries to posterize him. It was the Auburn guy, Jabari Smith. Jabari Smith tries to punch on him. He blocks the dunk. Jabari Smith gets it back. Wemby's like behind the backboard. Jabari just tries to float it in. He reaches from behind the backboard, just nope. I'm like, dude, this dude defensively, nightmare. Like, there's nothing you can do with it. All right. But then my problem is this. I tried to watch their opening night game. First play of the game, right? I'm going to get the ball to my guy, just drafting. They got his ass standing in the corner doing nothing. He's standing there. I'm like, hey, what are we doing? Like, give him the ball.
He can get up the court in about 4 steps.
Dude, he's unreal. He's unbelievable. They got to use him better. Pop,
he's so long, man. He's so long.
I will say though, speaking of Pop, I don't think he could have went to a better team to like develop him and all that stuff.
I agree.
No, yeah, I agree with that. Did you see what Pop said about when they found out they got the number 1 pick? I saw it. It may have been like a week ago. It was posted, but like he said he was asleep on the couch or something. His son-in-law nudged him and woke him up and said, "Hey, y'all just got the number 1 pick." And he's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Can you imagine the outrage if they wouldn't have drafted Wemby? Drafted Scoot or somebody like that?
Or Brandon Miller.
That would have been a horrible decision, first off. Did Wemby just, I don't know. The play that he made, this is what changed my narrative on him. This is the most outrageous thing I've ever seen in a basketball game in my life, right? The dude shoots a 3 ball from the slot and goes and dunks it. You're like, dude, what? Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yeah, no. And then he's going to put like another 30 pounds on, 40 pounds on too. He's going to –
He reminds me of Giannis when Giannis was in his rookie year, just a rail out there.
See, and I think that's the same thing with Chet in Oklahoma. Like, he's got to hit the weights. He could be the same way as Wemby, but if he's got to hit the weights.
He's raw,
or at least a meal plan or something.
He's raw too. Brett, you need to stop talking so much, man. We can't even hear ourselves think.
Yeah, no, I'm just listening to y'all. Y'all got a good storyline here going.
Well, let me ask you this. Since you're a Cowboys fan, what do you think about the 49ers getting Chase Young?
You know, I think it's a loss for the Cowboys, and Chase Young is gonna be a big impact player for the 49ers, but I think our road to the Super Bowl is kind of cut slim now that we got Trayvon Diggs out for the entire season. He was on my fantasy team. Big loss for me early in the season, but yeah,
dude, I just can't get into Dak.
I don't think he's it either.
I don't know. I'm like 1 foot in, 1 foot out on Dak.
Well, he'll start playing good.
He can get the job done, but can he get it done when you need it done?
Yeah, but then whenever you get in that situation, there goes his thumb. Like,
he's just not that guy. As simple as that. He's not that guy.
But when he's healthy, he's balling. So I mean,
Brett, who should say what?
I saw something on Instagram. Dak Prescott was just walking around at the game the other day and like tossing feet and just like a normal person. I was like, that's kind of odd, to see a starting franchise NFL quarterback just on the street in Arlington, Texas. That's.
Well, I saw a video of Aaron Rodgers already back on the field throwing and stuff.
Oh, that was nuts.
Achilles is supposed to be like a career ender, man. This guy's like a month out, and he's already back throwing and stuff on the field.
I know this. Hey, if I'm
it's all that ayahuasca.
If I'm Kirk Cousins, I'm calling Aaron. Hey, who is the doctor? What do I got to do?
For real though, he probably already did.
Dude, for sure, he had to.
What do y'all think?
That's insane.
What do y'all think Kirk's going to do at the end of the year? Because he's out, obviously, with the Achilles. His contract's going to be up. They can't franchise tag him. Are they going to be in on Caleb Williams or what?
No,
I'm not sold on Caleb Williams.
I'm not either. Me personally.
What about Shador?
People, I'm not sold.
No.
I think he's a phenomenal college quarterback, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get the job done through and through.
All right. Well, if y'all had a draft pick and you had to draft a quarterback, who are you going with
this year?
Yeah. Drake May.
I like Drake May. I like Riley Leonard. Really, I think he's a good football player. I mean, he's got some developing to do, but I think he's a really good football player. And maybe Sam Hartman.
Will, don't you want to go ahead and tell him about your boy Bo Nix?
Yeah, it pains me to say it, but I think I'd take Bo.
We've seen Big Game Bo play down here in the SEC.
Yeah, but I mean, like you look at just really what's spread out across the rest of the country. I mean, it's either Bo, Caleb, maybe that guy down in Florida State, Drake May,
I would take that dude from Florida State for sure.
maybe Ohio State's quarterback. I mean, it's not a good year for quarterbacks as far as draft stock goes.
No,
but I mean, then again, there could be some sleeper out there somewhere. Like
Williams is a dude. I would go get Caleb Williams. He's good.
What about Penix?
I tell you who
the left-handed on Penix bothers me.
That he over at Washington.
Hey,
yeah,
the best quarterback in the league right now is left-handed.
True.
He's about to win the MVP.
I will second that notion. Tua for MVP. I'm for that.
Go look at Twitter. Go to my Twitter page. Little stuff, whatever. Go look. Scroll down. You'll see something. I said it first. Tua for MVP if he stays healthy. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. If he's about one hit away from becoming a vegetable.
Hey.
Yeah, he got superpowers whenever he started throwing up gang signs.
The thing is, Skylar, you could be the MVP if you're throwing it to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
That's true.
Really, I'm serious. And hey, that's all it takes.
Okay. How about this, Brett? Get in this conversation. Damn it. What about how? Okay, going off what you just said, Justin. How would Dak be if you swap Tua and Dak? Put Dak with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Do we like Dak more then? Does he ball out, or is he the same Dak?
I can see it. I can see Dak being better.
I see the chemistry, the Bama chemistry there, like with, you got Tua and Jalen Waddle, like there's some chemistry there, and you got the fastest receivers in the league. Just about, it's a track race for the Dolphins right now.
That seems to be the thing because the Dolphins do it with Waddle and Tua. You got Philly with Jalen and Smitty, and then Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I'm for it. Keep that chemistry going.
So y'all think game six and the
Bama receiver.
So what
he
now?
needs a receiver.
Who?
Bryce.
Bro, they need. I would if they wouldn't have happened, but if I was the Panthers GM, whatever his name was, I would have traded the entire organization for Devontae
Marvin
Adams.
Harrison Jr.
Or that.
Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Panthers, and they're balling.
Here's the problem: their first round pick is going to somebody else.
I know that is.
The Bears have it.
The Bears have like the first and second pick overall.
Yeah, they could get 1 and 2. Yeah,
the Bears are taking Marvin for sure. But
are they
I'm just saying,
David
if
Williams
he ended up in
Marvin
Carolina,
Harrison?
they'd be balling.
Are they going to take Marvin Williams, Caleb Williams, and Marvin Harrison, or are they?
They probably are. I mean, but I don't think it matters who their quarterback is right now.
Justin Fields is another one for me, like Dak. I
like Justin Fields. I think he's a good football player. I don't think he needs to be in Chicago.
Do you think that's his problem?
Yeah.
What about? All right. Well, after the season, let's hypothetically say the Bears draft Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. Where does that leave Justin Fields going? What's the best place for Justin Fields? Green Bay?
Or maybe Minnesota.
There's no way they let him go. There's no way they let him go there, though.
Division.
New England?
Yeah,
what about Mac? He's always in the trade rumors every year, it seems like.
Dude, Mac is more inconsistent than that. Dude, he goes, beats the Bills, and then just disappears.
He's another one that don't really have a lot of help. Not defending him, but I mean, you got Juju Smith-Schuster as your best receiver. That's not Super Bowl caliber, but
and Zeke is not what he was in Dallas.
I'll say this though, Devontae Parker's good. Their other receiver, I think he's a much better target than Juju. Devontae Parker's good.
Well, forget players. They needed to have an offensive coordinator last year. I mean, you had Bill Belichick calling both sides, being head coach and a general manager.
You got Bill O'Brien, right? Bill O'Brien.
He does it all over there.
Dude, I will say, Bill O'Brien, now that I'm out of college and everything, I can say this. I'm not saying anything bad, but I will say the year that I was around Bill O'Brien, he was one of those guys that the madder he got, the funnier it was. And the fact that you thought that was funny just pissed him off even more. He was constantly, all the time, just yelling and It was pretty
Dude, that
entertaining
sounds
to
like
watch.
Coach Morton. Well, you guys know. You started
Yeah.
getting mad. Hey, everybody's just like,
Where's he at now? Like Eastern
He's
Carolina or
at
something?
East. Yeah, he's at ECU.
Oh, well, Harper's been on this podcast. He's still there, still going strong.
Hey, speaking of Harper, November 18th, they come up to Florence City, try to take on the Lions. It ain't gonna work too good for them. I'm gonna tell you that.
Uh-oh.
That's it. That's inside info.
What are you doing up there now?
So I really work for like a third party company called Tamar Sells You. It's just a revenue generation company. So I'm just selling tickets, trying to put butts in seats, man. We've already sold out of all our reserve seating for basketball. So there's a lot of hype around our men and women's teams this year. I mean, we got big games like Mississippi State, Kansas State, Missouri, Indiana, Texas Tech, just name a few. I mean,
What's your
wow.
sales pitch? Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, hey, we're out of downstairs reserve stuff, but I got general admission.
Hey, listen here. If you want a ticket to see some
I
basketball
knew
and
it
some
was
butt being
coming.
played, come on up here to
Hey.
Florence.
I
Hey,
knew it was coming at some point.
we can't talk hoops about talking the new news, right? Bob Knight. You guys hear about that?
Yeah,
Bob Knight
83.
passed.
Dang.
That's another
crazy.
one I heard was a extremely hot-headed individual.
So
Did y'all see that? Like whoever the new Syracuse coach is getting away from Boeheim's 2-3 zone offense. He's like, yeah, we're going untraditional, getting away from it. Like it just didn't work like it used to. Which I agree. I completely agree.
good decision.
He retired, didn't he, last year?
Boeheim did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, staying on the basketball topic, I feel like this one player is the team that he got traded to. They could potentially have 4 out of 5 starters as Hall of Famers. But to me personally, I think this guy is a cancer everywhere he's been. And that's James Harden to the Clippers. You got
Yeah.
Russ, PG-13, Kawhi, and James Harden. And then I guess Zubats. I mean, that's a pretty stacked roster, but I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction now. They won't do jack.
Hey, they're going to be first team all strip club NBA.
If it was Houston Harden, then yeah, that's different. But
wasn't he trying to go back there for the longest time?
Yeah, I think so.
Do y'all think that's where he was in his prime with Houston?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, he was a great 6-man in OKC, but that was the best decision for him was getting out of there so he could grow and develop. And I feel like Houston and Mike D'Antoni was the best place for him to go, other than maybe going to San Antonio and playing for Pop. But Pop doesn't really play that type of offense.
It was exciting to watch him at Houston.
I don't know. I don't know how that OKC team didn't do nothing. Russ, KD,
because that's when you have Steph and Clay coming up.
Were they all in the same draft class? Like Russ and two of them were, I think, James Harden and Russ, or KD and I don't know, somebody.
KD was the first pick, right?
I think so. But KD got drafted by Seattle.
Yeah, they were still the Supersonics when they drafted KD.
How long has he been in the league now? Like 15 years or something?
Still getting buckets, though.
A minute.
He gave buckets last night.
Speaking of Texas, KD went there. Texas came into Tuscaloosa, gave us a run for our money, and gave us an L. Will, Brett, what do y'all think about Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC? Because Texas, to me, has showed that they can compete. I mean, you beat Alabama, that's going to get some attention. But on the flip side, Oklahoma just lost to Kansas. So are they going to come in and be one of these teams to lose to Vanderbilt or somebody?
No, I think Oklahoma will come in and give whoever it is a run for their money. They'll be like how Auburn is now. They'll come in and have to get acclimated to the competition, probably have a new head coach every 3 years.
Auburn's got to get acclimated to the competition, even though they've been in the SEC for what?
Yeah, well, I mean, like you gotta get your guys. You gotta get your guys like Freeze coming in. Big deal, but you still got to filter those Harsin guys out. And Halloween was yesterday, and it was also the 1-year anniversary. We got rid of that schmuck, so happy Halloween. But I think it also depends on like where their alignment is too. Like who goes to the East, who goes to the West. Do you make one big conference where everybody plays everybody, or
Aren't they doing that?
It's going to work.
I think that's inevitably where it's all headed, anyways.
Yeah.
I thought I heard that. I don't know if it was the SEC or some conference was doing that. They were doing away with the East and West and just making it just one big conference.
It's just one of those things. Like if you keep it East and West, I feel like Texas is going to go to the East just because they're not going to put them and A&M in the same side of the conference, just because that's already a rivalry game anyway.
It'd be a whole mess.
They don't play though. If they put them in the same side, then they could have that rivalry back.
Yeah, that'd be exciting.
It's like the Iron Bowl.
Well, speaking of SEC, I mean, what do y'all think about? There's a lot of speculation that Bama's not falling off. They are falling off. I personally, and you know me, I'm Alabama through and through, but I think we'll always be a solid team. But I think the days of competing for a national championship every year and being first and all that in the rankings I think that's past us.
I mean, I think competing, I don't think necessarily that's past us. I mean, you have to think we got so used to winning. Like, think about it. Like, this is kind of what Dabo Swinney was harping about the other day. Like, when you get so used to winning, now you have people complaining about winning. Like, we're still winning 10 games, 11 games.
But Dabo can't say much about winning. I mean, the guy doesn't even go to the transfer portal to recruit. So
not on the same level as Saban.
That's where a lot of your teams come in. Like I'm iffy about the transfer portal. Not really sure how much I can actually talk about it, but it's one of those things. It's necessary, but you have to get the good products out of it. You're not going to you can't just go out and say, oh, well, he's a 5-star that was at a FCS team. Let me go grab him. And he's going to be exactly what he was at that FCS team. He's not.
I will say all this NIL stuff, it seems like it's leveled the playing field a little bit because you're seeing some teams that aren't usually that good. Now I can't think off the top of my head, but I mean, Duke, North Carolina, Utah, usually the teams that are kind of like, late teens, 20s rankings, they're up in the top 10 now.
Transfer portal and NIL without talking about the Buffs, right?
Yeah.
Talk about 5-star FC. How about the guy? The best, I think he's the best transfer in the country. Got to be playing both ways. Travis Hunter's a dude.
Oh, baller.
Yeah.
Baller. Best football player in the country.
What did they ever end up saying after talking all that smack? Then they go out there and absolutely just get waxed. Who was that? Who was it that just beat them like a drum?
Oregon.
Oh, it was Oregon, yeah. Well, hey, they got bigger issues in that locker room too, because apparently whoever they played last came in and stole all. I think it was UCLA. Came in and stole all their jewelry and stuff.
Jacked them.
That's wild.
I saw Deion's pressing charges for that.
You want the ratings to go up on this podcast? You got to keep hopping Colorado up.
Oh, I'm all for it.
I'm with it. Hey, my prime.
Sure. Personally, I hope my Falcons draft Shedeur Sanders next year.
Bro, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
My prime sunglasses are in the mail, so you can't say I'm not in on it.
The blenders.
Dang, I gotta get some of those.
Hey, $72 with tax. Pre-order though. You got to pre-order though.
Prime.
David, I didn't know you were a Falcons fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. That's right, bro. Tequila. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with Desmond Ridder. Let's roll with Heineke the rest of the year.
Let's roll with Heineke. Let's go. He's a hometown boy. He's from Collins Hill, back over actually in our region when I lived over there. But yeah, no, he's our guy right now, I think. And then we're taking Sanders, and then we're rolling.
All right, but as an outsider, the thing is this. I want you guys to play whoever throws the ball to Kyle Pitts. Why are they not giving him the ball?
Dude, I have him on my fantasy team. He's been sucking.
Guys.
Well, and like that one game, they didn't give it to Bijan at all either. I mean, that's your first-round draft pick.
Like, how do you have headaches? I mean, or how are you sick in a divisional matchup?
Hey, that FedEx money talks, I guess.
Bijan is the next Barry Sanders. I'm just telling you.
He's a dog. He's a dog.
Hey, what about Jahmyr Gibbs? You want to talk about them not giving the ball to Bijan? They've got Jahmyr Gibbs as the backup right now. Dude goes out, Jahmyr Gibbs starts
balls.
I'm like, hey, just give him the ball.
He did start slow, but I mean, he's a rookie, right? Like he's got to play. He's got to get some games under his belt.
He didn't even start that slow. He was getting like 6.5 yards to carry. They were just giving all the carries to damn Montgomery. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Montgomery was balling out. Gibbs had just take a seat for a second. Just let me come
Never
in
a
here.
bad thing to have a two-headed monster, though.
Yeah,
And he's a catch receiving back too. Like you can put him as a receiver up there in the slot, dude. He's Bijan too.
Well,
another
speaking
rookie
of
running back, Devon A-Chain. What about that guy?
Fast.
Yes.
well,
Oh,
speaking
lightning.
of receiving backs, like, and we were talking about them earlier, the Vikings. Dalvin Cook in New York has just not been impressive to me at all.
No, not me either.
I've hardly even seen him on the field, to be honest with you.
He's not been on there much, but when he is, he doesn't do much. So
He's fumbled a bunch too, hasn't he?
yeah, I think so. Which, I mean, hey, Zach Williams or Wilson probably can't hold on to the ball anyway. I'm not going to say it's his fault, but I mean, Dalvin is not what he was in Minnesota.
Speaking of
It's
A-Chain,
crazy.
go ahead, David.
My bad. I was just about to say it's crazy how much different that team looked like with Aaron Rodgers back there. Like, I'm a
the
Zach
four
Wilson
plays
fan
that he was
personally.
in.
I think he's a good player, but
all of a sudden they weren't going to be the Jets anymore, right? They were actually going to be something to watch.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm just talking about really like Hard Knocks too. Like they just looked like they were all in, like having fun together.
They loved
like
him.
really trying. Like they knew they had a guy that they could all get behind.
You saying that about him being in for 4 plays? I saw something that said, yeah, Aaron Rodgers was in for 4 plays. That was 3 longer than Abe Lincoln.
Damn, that's rough.
I mean, that is rough, but still.
Stuff.
God. Moving on.
Yeah.
No. I was gonna say, you mentioned A-Chain. So we said either San Francisco or Philly's got the top defensive line specifically. I think with A-Chain, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Miami is by far the fastest team in the NFL. 100%.
You forgot
Well,
one of the players in the league. Mostert is dude.
Yeah. Most.
And Jalen Ramsey's back on the other side of the ball too.
What was his deal? Why was there so much drama with his knee injury or whatever?
Yeah, he got hurt the second day of preseason. He's out. Some of his meniscus. I don't know if he tore it. Whatever.
Yeah, torn meniscus.
It was torn.
Yeah, surgery, came back.
Was it in practice or during a game?
First, second day of training camp.
This year.
Yeah.
I think the wildest training camp injury I've ever seen is that one with Antonio Brown in the feet, getting frostbite on his feet on Hard Knocks. Y'all saw that?
Yeah.
That was gross. Oh.
Antonio Brown is a interesting topic in itself.
Yeah.
Y'all seen his golf highlights? That one arm swing.
Chucks
up all the ground. There's who's that guy that went viral on Instagram or whatever who actually was sending them things?
Oh, dude, I've seen that.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't know his name, but I have seen that.
Dang, I don't think I've seen that.
Dude, you got to watch it. I'm pretty sure that's who Antonio Brown's trying to imitate, and he's doing a horrible job at it. That dude needs to be checked. Like, I don't know. What was the deal? He had some drama with Tom Brady's wife or something after Brady was trying to help him, and God, I don't know. But
his name pops up, I just swipe left.
Yeah, that's what you call a liability.
All right, we're running out of
And
time here. We got 3 minutes left, but Will, I wanted to ask you walk me through what you were saying. You said that Colorado was leaving, USC's leaving. Where will they go, and what's the conference deal on that?
Well, I mean, you got to look at it. It's going to be, your Stanford and your Cal are going to be the last 2 Power Fives in the Pac-12. I mean, who do you try to go after to get to replace your Colorado, your USC, your UCLA? Like who would you, if you're a commissioner of that league, who are you trying to go after?
Like UNLV, Colorado State.
I think it was USC.
Some of the Pac-12 teams went to the ACC, right?
Yeah, and some are going to the Big Ten.
Wasn't Stanford one going to the ACC?
I think so.
I thought they were one of the. I thought they were one of the ones staying.
I think it's Stanford and Cal going to the ACC guys.
I think that might be right.
Well, I know USC is leaving too.
So who's going to be left in the Pac-12?
I mean, Cal. They're
ditching it. It's done.
They're going to have like 3 teams. Who's going to win the Pac-12 next year?
It's the Pac-2.
Hawaii.
Yeah, Stanford and Cal going to the ACC.
That's what I was thinking.
That's such a
that makes literally Atlantic Coast. Well, come on.
Yeah, and you got 2 California teams in there.
Guys,
they've got to change names, right?
Yeah,
y'all
absolutely.
Think about a baseball team having to play a series. Y'all having to travel like.
No.
Well, luckily for this
or
World
even
Series,
like
it ain't that
tennis.
far.
Think about tennis having to travel like that. That's just like that's sick.
Well, luckily for this World Series, they ain't got it that bad. Houston
Wednesday
does,
night
or
soccer
Texas.
game. Yo, having to Georgia Tech flying to Stanford for a Wednesday night soccer game and then flying back and going to school. Oh, that's gross.
In the middle of the week too.
Yeah,
That's rough. That's a legitimate like work trip.
Hey, I'd rather fly to Cali than I would take a bus to EKU.
Yeah. I'd rather take a flight to Cali than a flight to Miami.
Was that the worst bus ride?
Nah, I think SEMO was worse.
With SEMO EIU is where we went. That was the
Nah, it was Austin P SEMO.
dude.
All right, boys, we're running out of time. We'll have to do this again.